to have a proper estimation of the self, where's that going to come from? The observations of, psychologists and the temporary reality? Sometimes Srila Guru Maharaj gives the example of the insane asylum, crazy house. So the people in there, they're under so many assumed identities. And maybe the doctors are even talking to them in terms of those identities. Napoleon, meet Lenin. Right? No, Napoleon and Lenin are having a conversation. Right? One man thinks he's Napoleon, another man thinks he's Lenin. They're conscious, right? They're conscious beings, conscious of themselves, and they've concluded this is their identity. And we'll say from our position, or from the so-called sane position, oh, they're deluded. They're under some grand delusion, thinking they're these historical personalities. They have, what is the other expression? Illusions of grandeur. Mania. They're suffering from mania. They're thinking that there's someone they're not. That's clear from a third-party observation that's relatively based on sanity. Right? So the doctors try and deal with them in such a way as to gradually bring them out of this sort of illusion toward their actual identity. So Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So authorized agents of the Absolute are moving in the world of illusion, in the plane of exploitation, but not as deluded exploiting agents, but as agents of divine revelation. Saying, Jive Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas. And Sanatana Goswami personifying the condition, the mentality of what might be expressed by a conditioned soul. He says to Mahaprabhu, Keami Keni Amai Jarita Petroi. Iha Nahi Jani Kamona Hitahoy. Who am I and why am I suffering tapatroy? The threefold miseries of material existence. Adi Devik, Adi Bodhik, Adhyatmika. Top Troy means three different groups of suffering, divisions. Adhyatmika, self-induced suffering. Freud, the so-called father of psychoanalysis, he said, what is the purpose of psychoanalysis? To convert neurotic suffering into ordinary suffering. He didn't say to be happy. He didn't say enjoyment. No, he didn't say that. He said the purpose is to convert neurotic suffering, obsessive compulsive neurotic suffering, to convert that into normal suffering, like everybody else. That's his optimistic scenario. Adhyatmika, self-induced suffering. Right? Adidaivika or adibhotika, suffering from other living entities. Mosquitoes, this, that, the other thing. Could be other people. Mosquito-like people. Adidevika, the gods, or in insurance policies, when they talk about earthquake, tsunami, hurricane, tornado, they're called acts of God. In English, that's what they write. Acts of God. Like saying, we don't cover acts of God. If God's doing it, we don't cover that. Someone was pretty smart about that. So Sanatana Goswami says, who am I and why am I suffering from these things? And if I don't know this, then then how can I know what's good for me and what's not good for me? What will be my criterion? What's the reference point? So I've got to establish this first. Who am I and why am I suffering like this? And Mahaprabhu's answer, it sounds simple, but it's profound. Jive Swarupoi, your real Swarup, not your temporary identity and karmic circumstance, not the identity of acquired prejudice, not your latest evolved life form, right? Not your latest incarnation, your temporary identity in the temporary world. Not that. Your Swarup, who you really are, underneath all the layers of acquired prejudice and false ego and karmic dress. Your actual identity, if all the masks are removed, like in Greek theater, you know what they call persona? You'd put on a mask, happy mask, sad mask. So they show those masks sometimes as representations of theatrical performance. So what is my identity? Underneath the mask, the karmically acquired mask of acquired prejudice, right, expressed in the karmic dress of my present life form, body. Right? Who am I? Jive Swarupai, Krishnara Nityadas. You're the eternal servant of the all-loving, all-beautiful, all-ecstatic personality of Godhead. Right? Satchidananda Vigraha, like Krishna. Then why am I suffering like this? If my position is in not in the temporary world, in the permanent world, as an eternal ecstatic servitor, with the life of love with Krishna and his entourage, what am I doing here? Vinod bole hai hai haridas harinahi bhai. Expressed by Bhakti Vinod. He said, Vinod says, hi, oh, what is the horrible situation I'm in? I'm Haridas, I'm the eternal servant of Hari, Krishna. And Krishna is nowhere to be found. Harinahi Pai, I'm not getting any Krishna here. Who is Krishna? Ecstasy personified, beauty personified, love personified, affection personified. I'm not getting that. I'm searching for that. I want that. I'm not getting it. And the devotee will realize that the root cause of all my suffering is separation from Krishna, forgetfulness of Krishna and separation from Krishna. And the solution is remembrance.